I'd like to call the September 18th, 2024 Business Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Ms. Buffy Lynn Charpentier.
Here.
Mr. Clyde Duplantis.
Here.
Ms. Leslie Wells. We do have a quorum.
Hey guys.
Excuse me.
The meeting's still.
Moving on to item 2, finance. To consider authorizing Superintendent Jared Martin to sign the Verizon Funding Committee letter. And I will move on that one. Second by Mr. Duplantis. And Ms. McKinney.
All right, so this is the document that we submit annually to Verizon. It's basically a purchase order letting Verizon know that we have this funding available to cover services. As a government agency, we are eligible to utilize a GSA, which is a federal contract providing negotiated prices on our plans for our staff cell phones and MiFis.
Thanks, Ms. McKinney. Do we have any
Mr. Kenny.
Ms. McKinney? Maybe I need to speak a little more into the microphone. Do we have any comments from the public? Any discussion by the board? If not, let's take a vote. Motion carries. Item B, to consider authorizing employee stipend pays utilizing the state appropriation funding for the 2024-2025 fiscal year as presented by Ms. Chastity Email, Business Manager.
So we're asking for your consideration to issue staff stipends based upon the special appropriation during the 2024 legislative session. The stipends are to be issued on November 22nd, 2024 as follows. All active full-time certified or professional employees who are hired on or before October 1st, 2024, who are active on payroll through November 22nd, 2024, are to receive $2,000. All active full-time support employees who are hired on or before October 1st, 2024, who are active on payroll through November 22nd, 2024, are to receive $1,000. All active part-time employees who are hired prior to October 1st, 2024, who remain active on payroll through November 22nd, 2024, are to receive $500 based upon the criteria set forth in the memo. Active on payroll is defined as having an active job salary record and currently receiving pay for assigned positions. The estimated cost of the stipend is $3,651,674. We're asking you to consider this motion.
I have a motion from Mr. Duplantis, and I will second. Is there any comment from the public? Any from the board? Ms. Bourgeois first.
I'm so glad that we can do this. The state is doing this for our teachers. I just wish the state would have made it a raise instead of a stipend.
I agree. Ms. Bennett.
So I would like to say that I appreciate the fact that you guys are getting this done and getting it into our people's hands, pocketbooks, checking accounts, whatever, prior to the holidays. So thank you very much for being so diligent.
Any other board discussion on this one? If not, we can take a vote. And the motion carries. Item C, to consider extending emergency project management services with All South Consulting Engineers, LLC.
Our current contract with All South is expiring next month, so we are requesting to extend our services with them so we can continue working on our Hurricane Ida projects. So we are requesting an extension for another 3 years, and hopefully that will complete our project management for Hurricane Ida.
I'll go ahead and make that motion. Second by Mr. Duplantis. Any discussion from the public? Any board comments?
You just asked what amount.
It's not an amount that's set, it's just an extension for their services. So there hasn't been any adjustment in pricing.
In the past, is that what we've been fencing out to pay them? Is that a percentage of, is it a percentage basis, or is it
will come speak to that. It's based on their FEMA claims.
It's based upon FEMA claims, and it's also based upon the time spent, on, the items that they're working on as well, so.
I would say that I know that compared to other districts and other municipalities, our school district has been in a better position than other agencies. And I think that has a lot to do with the services that we're receiving and the aggression that All South is showing us in pursuing, claiming these funds. So I'm happy to extend that service so that we can follow this through and see it to conclusion. Yes, ma'am.
So as the land and facilities chairperson, when I started this committee, when I took over the committee from Mr. Duplanis in January, we were looking at land and facilities meeting agendas that were going into the double alphabet letters. We have gotten that down in a matter of months. Tonight, I think I'm looking at our agenda. We have items A through E, and that's a contestant strictly to the fact that these guys are working hard to get everything taken care of, and they are to be appreciated. So thank you very much.
Any other comments from the board?
I agree. I really
Right, I do too.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Let me know other discussion. Let's vote. Motion carries. Item D, to receive monthly budget to actual report for all major funds for the period through August 31st, 2024. Ms. Eno.
Until the 2023-2024 audit is complete, our major funds will remain the general fund, the 1995 sales tax salary restricted fund, the salary supplement fund, the 2021 construction funds, which will be presented during the land and facilities committee meeting, and the hurricane recovery fund, which has its own report. Activity through the month ending August 31st, 2024 includes general fund, as indicated on page 3 of the statement, has collected 11.9% of the revenue budgeted and has received a total of $13,834,000, which is roughly most of our MFP funding. As indicated on page 20 of the statement, 14% of expenditures has been expended or obligated for a total of $22,112,000. The 1995 sales tax restricted fund, as indicated on page 21, has collected 0.1% of the revenue that has been of the revenue budgeted for a total of $16,371 and has expended 9.6% of the budgeted expenditures, totaling $945. Salary supplement fund on page 23 has also collected 0.1% of revenue budgeted for a total of $3,992 and has expended 0.2% of its budget for expenditures, totaling $375.
Thank you for that. Moving on to item E, to receive a financial report on Hurricane Ida response and recovery to date.
For the period ended August 31st, we have expended and encumbered for Hurricane Ida expenditures $123,511,580. The total amount received from FEMA in July 2024 was $1,072,768 for a total aggregate reimbursement of $50,350,109. Of the aggregate amount received, we were able to submit $350,109 to Hancock Whitney as part of our payment on the hurricane loan. The total amount submitted for reimbursement and the total amount obligated by FEMA as of this report is $69,873,676.
Moving on to item item 3, transportation. To receive a report of the transportation events from the previous.
Right, so today I was able to conduct the bus monitor interviews now that we had removed the paraprofessional requirement from that job. We had 5 applicants to fulfill the 3 to 4 vacancies right now. So I haven't made selections, but the interviews were done today. We have 4 drivers still working on the training, the driving portion of becoming licensed in order to be employed. And then we have an additional 4 currently in class tonight at Thibodeau Middle School, begin the initial stages of licensure. So I met with them earlier this afternoon at Thibodeau Middle to ensure that they remain drivers in our parish, not get licensed and then seek employment elsewhere. So I did my best sales job to them. The lead drivers, as I mentioned last month, the lead drivers continue to play a huge role in what we do as a transportation department on a daily basis. And not only, as I said last month, the lead drivers, but every driver. The lead drivers have been a huge asset in regards to developing our alternate plans for when a fellow driver is out. In regards to a fellow driver being out, our attendance for drivers has been phenomenal. So thankfully, those alternate plans not had to be utilized as frequently as not frequent. So I'm appreciative of their attendance and commitment to our communities and kiddos. Drivers have also done a great job of informing us, our department, of hazards within their routes, whether it be low-hanging wires, whether it be street signs as they attempt to pull onto Highway 1 or 308 that are blocking their views, whether it's trees overhanging highways blocking their views when they're trying to enter one road from another. So Mr. Jared Bro in our safety department, he and I have been working closely together as well to address some of these concerns. I know you were in an email recently about the little signs that are rolled out between our in-school zones. So I've been in contact with Lieutenant Brooks with the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. I've gotten a number of calls from community members as well as our drivers to ensure that traffic or crossing guards are out of their vehicles, actually directing traffic, and that those signs within school zones are used and not just left on the side of the road as decorations. So all these resources, we've been able to work closely together to get the job done. I've had meetings with the Terrebonne Parish Transportation Department to see up close and personal their resources, such as routing and camera systems that they currently utilize. I actually have another meeting with them tomorrow to help streamline our McKinney-Vento workings when it comes to students either living in our district temporarily, but they belong to Terrebonne, or vice versa. So we have some cleaning up to do regarding that, but I'll be meeting with them tomorrow at their location. And then on Friday, I'll be meeting with B&L at the LaRose Yard to speak to them about some workings of our system as a whole. But I'm grateful for the drivers and their commitment because, like I said earlier, their attendance has been phenomenal, which puts lessons to strain on fellow drivers, specifically down the Bayou, as I've mentioned before, where we're shorter staffed than the central and northern areas. That's the gist of the transportation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arnold. Without any further business to be discussed with the committee,